But this is a baby one because you can tell a lot of the epididymis isn't. So they took it off a young one. But see this layer here? This is known as what you'll see when we do lectures, the vaginalis. And this would coat over it. This would coat inside the scrotum, the sac, and that's the vaginalis. And the vaginalis is it's the tunica vaginalis. It's an extension of the peritoneum. As this comes down and drags it, this comes and wraps the testes. This is the albuginum, okay, which is the white thick membrane that's right on the testes. You'd have to cut into the testes to take it off. Then this is the epididymis right here. So this would be the head. This is the body. And this is the tail, and within there you'd have the spermatic cord coming off it over here, the head out. And then this would be where everything comes down with the testes. So the nerve and blood supply would all be here coming into it. You want a sausage?
No, thank you.
Okay, just what you want.
I ate a salad a little while ago.
Okay, you don't want to have this kielbasa, huh? Let me get the best. I think this one's a better kidney. Okay, with the kidney, see you get this nice red like lines in here because this is where you have all your nephrons. And you got a lot of nephrons, like 2.5 mil. So there's a lot that's sitting here. And that's the functional unit of the kidney is known as the nephron. If you really had kidney problems, if you went to a urologist, they would refer you over to a nephrologist, a doctor who just specializes in this. And they try to get this to turn back on if they can, okay, with steroids and things. But this region here is all your cortex. This is all the outside region. So this region here with the dark brown is all the medulla, and these are your pyramids. So in theory, they're pyramid shaped, okay? So looking at, shop over there. Looking at this region here, then this would be your minor calyxes, here, here, and here, and this would be a major calyx. All right? So these would be your minor, this would be a major, and this would be the true pelvis of the kidney, draining out towards the ureter, which is right here. All right?
Like the renal pelvis?
The renal pelvis, same thing, yes. And you have a hilar region of a kidney, that's like you did the lung, remember? So you'd have a vein, an artery, and ureter. We wouldn't have a bronchi here because we don't need to breathe through our kidney, right? Unless someone puts their mouth to your back and goes, and then they're breathing through your kidney, but that's different. So this would be a renal artery, this would be a renal vein, the blue, and this would be your ureter. And again, your cortex. So this is kind of like the larynx. It's an easy thing to remember. And the pictures in your book kind of really look like it, okay? And a lot of times, instead of even asking you for a calyx, if you just put down renal pelvis, I give you the credit for it. Because it's the same area. So this is a true calyx. You see, it's like calyx means cup-like. So this is cup-like structure. This is hard to pick up this would be a minor. This would be hard to see as the major calyx, even though it is. It'd be like a big cup. So urine drains like this, comes through here, down into here, and when you're in this point here on your urine, okay, who knows what urine is? It's pretty much water, electrolytes, which is salts, right, and urea, which is the breakdown of uric acid, breakdown of ammonia ion, which is protein. You know, the breakdown of protein will go through the kidney as urea, but not protein itself. Protein should never be found in your urine unless you're really dosing protein and under a lot of stress. It's too big of a molecule to fit through the glomerular filter part. So sugars like glucose and a ton of blood cells, red blood cells, you might have a trace wrong, there's so many high power field, that's okay. But you shouldn't have, a consistency of red blood cells, white blood. There's a problem. This stuff should not be getting through. It should be being sent back. Okay, usually a sign of red and white blood cells high in the kidney or in your urine, you have an infection, usually a UTI. So that's what we got into, like UTIs and stuff today. It's like, oh my God, how it just went into degeneration. It was unbelievable. I said, no, this is being recorded. This is great. I should take that when I go and interview someday. Let that recording play. That'd be wonderful. How we take the class and just derail it. But looking at all your kidneys, they're all similar. If they're not like chiseled out a bit, it's very hard to see your calyxes. I'm trying to find it when it's a little more chiseled out, and you can see them better. So the more they dry out, the little better they look to see them. Well, the pyramids stick out like a sore thumb. And these little spaces between would be called the real columns, because that's kind of like where all the collecting would take place at the Euro, at the columns. So that's the one I said don't worry about, okay? And the same thing here, it's just, if you dig out some of this, you'd get under the soft, into it a little deeper to see, do I have, where's my true calyx? But your minor calyxes are always going to sit right under your pyramids. Your minor will always be there. The major are going to work more towards away from it. And then you get to the true renal pelvis and out. Okay, so just remember that.
Here.
Well, the renal pelvis would be right here. So this is a better example. So you'd have, these would be minor calyxes, and this would be the major right here. Okay, that's a minor. The major would be out here. Minor, the major out here. Okay, so it's like little cup, big cup. Okay? Like a demitasse cup and a mug. So that's the demitasse, that's the mug. So calyx means cup-like structure. So if you get asked on your test, which one is an example of a cup-like structure in your kidney, don't say pyramid. Make sure you say calyx, okay? C-A-L-Y-X. Or if it's plural, C-A-L-Y-C-E-S, calyxes, okay? You don't put apostrophe S on the X. You get rid of the X and do the S, okay? So that's why you'll see it that way in your notes. Someone says, you spelled it wrong. I said, no, one's plural, one's singular. So it's not spelled wrong. My students who want to be English majors. Okay, but again, we try to find these as kidney. The main thing would be like pinning major regions. That. So it's like 4 easy questions to get right. Just like your larynx is 4 easy questions to get right. That can give you 16 points. Veins, and this is an artery. And all they did was remove everything here so you can see the valves. So this is the valve structure. So the blood's already past this point and it's going here now. This is an artery. Look at the muscular wall. This would be an example of vasovasorum. Because that's an artery coming feeding the outside wall. That's why that's there. That's not a mistake. And it's peeking there. See anything good? What'd you do if you saw an eye looking back and freak, right? That'd be a good thing to do. True eyeball looking back at you.
Get a bull eyeball.
Is that going to be in the
Along with the balls.
It's fair game. Fair game. You said.
Now, so looking at your 3 layers, so if you take your 3 layers, so if you took from, this region right here, the gray and the brown, that would be your inner layer, right? The intima. If we took from this to this, that would be my medial layer, which is the muscular layer, and then the pink on the outside would be the external. And it's the same on both structures. So the thing is, this is muscular layer, which one would be the artery, which one would be the vein, question like that, the valve. So it's pretty straightforward. So I wouldn't lose sleep over that's my point. To kind of understand the picture in your book of an artery and a vein, you're going to know this. Okay? Good? Wow, look at that, it's so dedicated.